think I've started.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونتوب إليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله هو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له من دون الله وليا مرشدا. واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله وسلم عليه وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. وبعد. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are welcome to our sitting of Tafsir. Today, we will be looking into the explanation of verse 173 from Surah Al-Imraan, Quran chapter 3. Now,
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. الذين قال لهم الناس إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
الذين قال لهم الناس إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان المارد الرجيم. الذين قال لهم الناس إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. نعم.
الذين قال لهم الناس,
those to whom some other people said,
إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم.
indeed, people have gathered against you.
فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا.
Therefore, you should fear them. But instead of fearing them, they replied, saying,
وقالوا حسبنا الله.
Instead of replying them with fear, what they had increased them in faith, and so their response to that sufficient for us is Allah. وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ, and He is the best disposer of affairs. He is the best one to depend upon. الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ, those to whom people said, إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ, people have gathered against you. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ, therefore fear them, dread them, do not dare them. فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا, that threat adversely increased them in faith instead of fearing those who gathered. وَقَالُوا, and that was why their response was, Hasbunallah, sufficient Allah is for us. وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ, He is the best to depend upon. Allah is the best to depend upon. That is the meaning of that verse. For confirmation, read again.
الذين قال لهم الناس,
those to whom people said,
إن الناس قد جمعوا لكم,
people have gathered against you.
فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا.
You should therefore fear them. But instead of fearing them, that threat increased them in faith.
وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
They, instead of fearing, said, sufficient is Allah for us, and He is the best to depend upon. The writers of this Tafsir that we are using have this to tell us in verse 173. وَهُمُ الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمْ بَعْضُ الْمُشْرِكِينَ, the people about whom this verse is speaking are those Sahaba who were being told by the idol worshippers, Inna Aba Sufyan wa Ma'ahu, that Abu Sufyan and those accomplices with him, قَدْ أَجْمَعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ عَلَى الرُّجُوعِ إِلَيْكُمْ, have considered and agreed among themselves to return to you, لِسْتِئْصَالِكُمْ, just to finish all of you up, because they failed to finish you in the battle of Uhud. When they were fleeing, they had a second thought and now said, let us return to Muhammad and his people. We could not return to Makkah without accomplishing the main mission. Our main mission is to kill Muhammad. So we will not go like this. Our mission has not been completely accomplished. Therefore, you Muslims should fear them. You have to be aware of them. وَاتَّقُوا لِقَاءَهُمْ, do not dare meeting them again after all that they had done to you during the battle of Uhud, injuring the messenger and killing a number of you and wounding more. fear going to meet them in another war. فَإِنَّهُ لَا طَاقَةَ لَكُمْ بِهِمْ, because you have no power to confront them. They outnumber you. They outnumber you. فَزَادَهُمْ ذَلِكَ التَّخَوِيفُ يَقِينًا. But that threat increased the Sahaba in certainty that Allah is with them. وَتَصْدِيقًا بِوَعْدِ اللَّهِ لَهُمْ. That threat increased them in believing in the promise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them, that He would never allow the infidels to win again. وَلَمْ يَثْنِهِمْ ذَلِكَ عَنْ عَزْمِهِمْ. That threat did not let them withdraw from their own determination of still going out to meet the infidels outside Medina when their prophet ordered them that they should still go out, even with all the wounds they had already had. فَسَارُوا إِلَى حَيْثُ شَاءَ اللَّهُ. And so they proceeded together with the prophet to where Almighty Allah so wished for them. وَقَالُوا. And so they said, Hasbunallah. Enough is Allah for us. Allah is sufficient for us. Allah will not abandon us. He will fulfill His promise for us. Meaning, kafina, He is sufficient. You know, if Almighty Allah suffices you, what are you waiting for again? What else are you expecting after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. He is the best one to depend upon. المفوض إليه تدبير عباده. He is the one entrusted with the control of His creation affairs, and therefore this threat will not turn us away from our decision. We will go ahead even as we are severely injured during the battle of Uhud. That is the writing of those people who wrote at Tafsir and Nasr. Even without brushing these things, making noise. Mata Nasrullah, when with the assistance of Allah also comes to us in our own mosque, so that we will be having a standard sound system. In the Nasrullah Qareeb, okay, I am also confident in that. The assistance of Allah shall come, inshallah. That verse, الذين قال لهم الناس Before this, when we were explaining verse 172, we mentioned how the Quraysh people failed in their plot to kill Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam during the battle of Uhud. And also that those Quraysh people wanted to take the Muslim women as prisoners of war during the battle, but they also failed in that mission. They were saying that the wives of the Sahaba were very beautiful, and marry them off to ourselves. But they failed to actualize that mission. And so they were not happy that they left the battle before fulfilling their wishful plot against the Prophet and the Sahaba and their women. We mentioned while explaining that verse 172 that while the Quraysh and their allies were fleeing away after inflicting severe injuries on the Sahaba in the Battle of Uhud, they paused along the road and they said, why can't we just make this one to be final between us and the people of Medina by finishing all the Muslims up, by finishing them, so that they will never be able to rise up and withstand us in any battle again. And notwithstanding the fact that the Muslims then were severely injured, but when information came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the Quraysh people had reassembled for another show of power with them, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded the Sahaba to pursue them. And so the Prophet and the Sahaba ended to IMRAAN on the second day in the morning, which was equivalent to Sunday, YAWMU-S-SABT, 8th of Shawwal, year 3 after Hijrah. Because we told you that the Battle of Uhud occurred in the 3rd year. So, if the battle occurred on the 7th of Shawwal, then on the 8th of Shawwal, the Prophet ﷺ went together with his Sahaba radiyallahu anhu to IMRAAN, which is about 8 miles outside Medina. IMRAAN is about 8 miles outside Medina on the road to Makkah. And of course, when they were going, the Prophet ﷺ said that anybody that did not participate with us in the battle of Uhud should not follow us. Do you remember why the Prophet ﷺ said that? Because the hypocrites withdrew along the way when they were going to the battle of Uhud. 300 of them withdrew, leaving only about 700 with the Prophet ﷺ. Now, as they were setting out to go and confront the same infidels, the Prophet ﷺ decided to also go out with the same people who remained after the martyrdom of some of them in Uhud. He made it a principle that only those of you who survived at Uhud should set out with me to pursue those idol worshippers. Because we know if the prophets were to follow them again, what will happen? It's the same thing, the same scenario will happen. They would frustrate the prophet. That was why the prophet said that only those who actually participated in the battle of Uhud should now follow us. And so, when the Prophet ﷺ arrived at IMRAAN, close to where the idol worshippers has reassembled for another show of power, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala held the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by throwing fear, fright into the hearts of the idol worshippers, the enemies. Especially that Abu Sufyan, one of the leading commanders of the Quraysh people then, met another person by name Ma'bad ibn Abi Ma'bad al-Khuzai, who informed Abu Sufyan that the Muslims had come closer to confront them, and that the Muslims were plenty in number. They have now outnumbered you. Abu Sufyan, are you hearing me well? Those that now came to Imran Assad outnumbered you. You outnumbered them at Uhud. Those who now came out outnumbered you. With that, the Quraysh people feared. They were frustrated. And so they continued their withdrawal back to Mecca instead of confronting the Prophet ﷺ again. They returned as losers of the war instead of being victors. They returned as losers, defeated in their minds, even as there was no actual war. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This issue of Imran Assad was not an actual war, but it was a compliment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to complement the battle of Uhud with it. After that, the idol worshippers had already left the war front. Even before the Muslims left. Because the Prophet and the Sahaba remained in Imran Assad after the withdrawal of the Quraysh people back to Mecca. They remained there for good 3 days. It was not a joke. It was not a joke. You know, within those 3 days, even those who are wounded in Uhud will be able to relax a bit. The Quraysh people wanted to exterminate and eliminate the Sahaba. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rendered their plots useless for them. قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ. Who were the people that told the Sahaba about the reassembling of the Quraysh people? Some stories were telling us that they were the hypocrites of Medina, while some historians were telling us no, they were also idol worshippers who did not want the Muslims to get wounded again. And that in the beginning, it was a rumor, but that rumor came to be true again. It was a rumor that the Quraysh people had reassembled. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, on hearing the rumor, did not take it for granted. When they told him that your enemy had mustered a great force against you at so place, and that they have reassembled and gathered themselves in the master of Jama'u, that they have reassembled to face you again. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. So, if you love yourselves, do not dare facing them again. Fear them. Fear them. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ. Fear them. You have to dread them. فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Abu Sufyan only made that one to be a campaign, as is always the way soldiers are doing during war. You know, Al-HUDA, war is also by trick. You have to trick your enemies, just as your enemies are tricking you. Abu Sufyan spread that rumor just to scare the Sahaba. As the Sahaba also tried to set out, and they eventually went to IMRAAN to pursue the infidels. Abu Sufyan met a caravan of other idol worshippers who were going to Medina. He told them, as we are going, when you see Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell him that I have mobilized to eliminate his companions. I have mobilized my people to come and eliminate your companions. I will have to. If someone tells you that, how will you be feeling? How will you feel? Huh? It was a campaign. So, when the caravan got to the place where the Muslims were, and they informed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Abu Sufyan had mobilized the Quraysh troops again, the Sahaba did not even wait to hear the response of the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They themselves said, "Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel." The Sahaba are also human beings like we are, and you know the way people are behaving when they are having problems. If you are the one that go out with your associates and they have been threatened, before you will respond, they will be the first to respond. That was what occurred here. When the Prophet was being told the decision of Abu Sufyan, the Sahaba did not wait for the Prophet to respond. They said, Hasbunallah, enough is Allah for us, wa ni'mal wakeel is the best to depend upon. We depend on Allah, but you are depending on idols. Something that you created with your own hands, you depend on it. But we are depending on our Creator, the true deity, the one that created you and us, is the one we depend upon. He is with us. So, after the Quraysh people left, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam remained with his companions in Al-Asad for good 3 days, so that with that they would continue to scare the infidels. They remained there till day 11th of Shawwal, year 3 after Hijrah, before returning to Medina. But before they returned to Medina, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, being messenger of Allah, having information from Allah, commanded the Sahaba to catch on some people who had been spying on them and acting as informants to the Quraysh people. There were informants who entered to the, how do I call it? They entered to the road of the Sahaba, just to let the Quraysh people know what was happening. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam now said that those set of people should be killed. And what happened is that some of those informants had a favor from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam earlier in the battle of Badr in year 2. One of them was ABUJA Al-G-Mufti, one of the prisoners of war during the battle of Badr. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam overlooked his shortcoming and freed him. He joined his people in Makkah. He now came with them for Badr, for Uhud, just to spy on the Muslims. And so, when he betrayed by joining the Quraysh against the Muslims in the Battle of Uhud, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was still able to catch on him as a prisoner of war during the Battle of Uhud. And so, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked one of the Sahaba to cut his head. He was killed instantly. We also have someone that Sayyidina Usman ibn Affan asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to relieve him and to spare his life. That was in the person of Muawiyah ibn al-Mughira ibn Al-As. But instead of him fulfilling the promise he made to Usman that he would not betray, he betrayed by spying on the Muslims in favor of the Quraysh people in Medina. So, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also commanded the Sahaba that they should kill that one. When the Prophet said that they should kill him, he ran out of Medina, fleeing. But the Prophet said, no, we should catch on him. So they caught him and killed him. Imam Bukhari mentioned this one, and also the books of biography mentioned it. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel is a great profession that every Muslim should be mentioning whenever you are doing some work. But you should not misuse it. When you want to do something, you don't ask Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. What you do in the beginning, Bismillah. You have to say Bismillah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And while you are doing that thing, you say Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. If you are facing some problems. If you are facing some problems. And if you had a misfortune, what should you say? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You see, the religion of Islam is a religion of reasoning. It's not something that you practice anyhow. Whenever you want to do something, you say Bismillah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. On doing it, in the course of doing it, you can say Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel, especially if you are facing some problem, exactly as the Sahaba did now. After the Battle of Uhud, where they were eventually defeated because of the disobedience on the side of just a small group of them. Now, they went on Al-Assad to still confront the infidels, and they knew that the number of the Quraysh people and their allies were, their number was more than theirs. So they now said, what? Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. But as for inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, that was something that the Prophet and the Sahaba said at Uhud on seeing what occurred to them. The Prophet was injured, and some Sahaba were attacked, and some were wounded. So they said, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Well, I should let you know that there is an hadith with regards to Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel that our ulama has said that hadith is weak. The hadith says, إِذَا وَقَعْتُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ الْعَظِيمِ, whenever you find yourself in a great affair, فَقُولُوا, then you should say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. But the ulama say that the shape of translation of this hadith is weak, and that is why there is no necessity of believing in the content as it came, except that it is good for you that when you are doing something and you are facing some problem, you can easily say what? Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Here we are resting our today's Tafsir. You know, it is true that some Sahaba were killed. They died when it was their own time. Nobody will ever die without his own time. And that is why we do not have the idea of saying premature death. We don't have it. There is no premature death at all as far as the Muslim beliefs are concerned. It is in an hadith where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as Imam Muslim recorded it, مَا مِن نَفْسٍ تَمُوتُ لَهَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ يَسُوقُهَا أَنْ تَرْجِعَ إِلَى الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا شَهِيدٌ. Nobody will ever die and will still wish that he is returned to the world except a matter. Anybody that dies in the course of every because of Allah will still wish that he is returned to the world so that he will do more in every because of Allah. فإنه يسوق أن يهدي إلى الدنيا فيقتل مرة أخرى مما يرى من فضل شهادة. Because of the reward he is reaping on Matador, he would wish that he is returned, so that he will even be killed and slaughtered several times in the path of Allah. Only the Shaykh will wish that. As for other than matters, when they die, they will not wish coming back, except a person who has fooled himself, someone who has fooled himself, someone who did not perform well in his lifetime. When he dies, he would wish that he is returned to the world. But that one is impossible. Because while in the world, he had been given enough time to know what is good. But he rejected the truth and persisted on doing what is not in his favor. Now he is trying to fool Allah. Allah is not someone who can fool. You cannot fool Allah the way you are fooling fellow human beings. So why should such person now wish that Allah return him to the world? Why he did not perform well earlier? It is only someone who has performed well who would wish that he is returned so that he can do more. But this one that has not performed well before, how could he be returned? May Almighty Allah enable you and I to always remain focused so that Allah will always be happy with us. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. There is nothing like doing good in this world. When you are doing good, you will have rest of mind. You will relax. Although you will not be assuring yourself 100% that no, I'm going to Jannah. You will rather be begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let you be among the dwellers of Jannah. Because even as you will have the chance of entering Jannah, that admission will be based on your work and then the wish of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the Sahaba that when you do something, do it constantly. Because it is not only your work that will qualify you admission into a Jannah. They ask him, even you, it is not all these things that you are doing that will qualify you to enter Jannah. He said, yes, not even me. Except for Almighty Allah have his mercy on me. If the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam could say this, then who are you to say that 100% you will enter a Jannah? May Almighty Allah give us good belief in this religion that we are practicing. Allahumma rabbana ya hayyu ya qayyum bi rahmatika nastaghith aslih lana sha'anana kullahu wa la takilna ila anfusina tarfata 'ayn wa subhana rabbika rabbil 'izzati 'amma yasifun wa salamun 'alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil 'alamin wa subhanaka allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. See what you said has finished. Please continue. So this is the end of our